All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles for teaching us this truth. Peace and blessings to the brothers pushing the word throughout the four corners. Peace and blessings to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm the brother Karab, coming at you with a beautiful lesson going into you can ignore the Lord, but he will not ignore he is not going to ignore you, man. All right, you can ignore the Lord, but he's not going to ignore you, man. All right, pretty much a lot of these people, right, that's walking upon the face of the earth, and mainly our people, because that's who supposed to know the judgment. That's who this Bible is for. It's for the Negro, Latino, Native American, and Indian. And some of our people look like these other nations. The spirit that goes back to Jacob, man. All right. Because that's how you identify who is the sons of Israel, according to Romans 8:16. But now we living in a world right now at this point, at this very hour, coming into the end of this kingdom. A lot of these people are pretty much, you might as well just call them anti-Christians and ultimately just call them atheists, man. A lot of these people don't believe in the Most High like they say they do, because if they did, they would fear the Lord, they would keep the commandments, they will walk with a sense of fear. But they don't. You know, these people, they do not walk with a sense of fear. So I'm going to get these precepts. Lord willing, you be edified. This is Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men cried there bitterly. Right? Let's reread it again. This is Zephaniah 1:14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Right? Because the day of the Lord, hey, that's an important day, man. Right? That's an important day. These folks just had 4th of July. Man, 4th of July wasn't shit, man. You know, just another wicked holiday. But I went on the internet and seen that pretty much, you know, they saying that people done spent $2.8 billion just on fireworks alone, man. You know, setting a record pretty much, man. Or the most bought of the year for the most bought fireworks, man. You know, but not paying attention to their firework and or taking heed to their firework that's about to come to America, hence those nuclear missiles. Right? Because like Micah 4 tells you in the scriptures that it should be a day that should burn them up as an oven, roughly paraphrasing, man. All right, it's describing the intensity of the nuclear missiles, man. All right, that's when the scriptures talk about the lake of fire, it's talking about the nuclear missiles that's coming here, man. Joel, the 2nd chapter. You know, there's plenty of chapters that goes into the nuclear destruction, man. Says shall rock to and fro like a drunken man. The Lord is not playing, man. You know, you can ignore the day of the Lord, but the day of the Lord is not going to ignore you, man. Hence, when you go into Ezekiel, it say, what? Behold, the evil is come. The day of doom is come. It watcheth for thee. You know, since you're not watching for evil, evil going to be watching for your ass, man. And the Lord is going to judge a lot of you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Indians, man, because you're the ones that supposed to uphold the scriptures, but yet you're upholding this false image, man. You're being someone you're not. You're not a wicked person. Jake just want to do things wicked, man. Jake just want to always want to be involved in stupidity, man. But when it comes to doing something right, hey, you don't even know what to do, man. You don't know where to start. Zephaniah 1:15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. You see? It's describing the terrible day of Yahweh Shema Shai. It's going to be scary, man. It's going to be a horrific, terrible time, man. That day of Yahweh Shema Shai, the day of the arrival of our Lord Yahweh Shai, is not a day to be taken lightly. So you can ignore it. You can say that proverb where, oh, it ain't going to happen in our lifetime. The day of the Lord, man, hey, that's years to come, man. Hey, day of the Lord coming in 2080. You know, you got a lot of these people out here. Hey, we're going to be here another 1,000 years. Man, get the hell out of here, man. We're not going to be here another 1,000 years, man. The Lord is coming, man. and his prophecies. How do you find the Lord? By the prophecies, man. By the prophetic events, right? That's happening. And also his prophets. You got prophets in every state, man. Even overseas out there teaching that word. That's a sign of the end times as well, too. You would think you would want to pay attention to something severe and serious like that. But guess what? Our people don't. Zephaniah 1:16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Because ultimately, man, the day of the Lord's, man, hey, it's pretty much, man, gonna pretty much, man, be vicious. You know, Lord said, well, he got dogs to tear away. He said famine, sword, death, pestilence. The Lord sending, he unloading the spiritual cavalry, man. So the day of the Lord is not to be taken light. This is Zephaniah chapter 1. I'm going to get it in a different translation. Living Bible, TLB version. Verse 12. Right? Because the Lord said in the KJV version, he's going to search Jerusalem with candles. Punish those that settle on their leaves, those that are comfortable. Well, let's read what the Living Bible translation of Zephaniah, the first chapter, says. This is verse 12. It said, I will search with lanterns in Jerusalem, dark corners, to find and punish those who sit contended, right? Let's go into that word contended in their sins. That's what the scriptures say. So let's go into that word contended. And when you go into that word contended, it goes into willing to accept something, satisfied. To be contented means feeling satisfied and at peace with your current circumstances, even if they are not perfect. You see? So it's like being that hamster on the wheel, ultimately insanity. You're trying to find, you're doing the same move, trying to find a different outcome, and you're going nowhere, man. But if you free Yahweh Shem Shai and keep the commandments, time is going to fly by, man. You're going to have a sense of character. You're going to progress. You're going to actually be a part of the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. You're going to be on team Yahweh Shai instead of team me. Instead of being selfish, man. Instead of being entwined in one's desires and accomplishments and goals. You got people planning things for 2032. You got people planning things for the next day. For the next month. For the next 3-5 years. You know? But ain't nobody planning their relationship with Yahweh Shem Shai. Ain't nobody worrying about trying to make a connection with Yahweh Shem Shai. What happens when you don't make that connection? See, people not thinking about these things. They don't care if their relationship is right with Yahweh Shem Shai, who the word eagerly called God and Jesus Christ, man. You know? Let's go back into Zephaniah 1:12 in the Living Bible. Yep, Living Bible. Verse 12. I will search with lanterns in Jerusalem, darkest corners, to find and punish those who sit contented, right, at peace, in their sins, indifferent to the Most High. That means being opposite, thinking he will leave them alone. You know? Well, maybe if we don't worship the Lord, he'll just leave us alone. We don't think about him. If we don't praise his name, if we don't call on him or believe in him, he'll get thee thence. Pretty much, you know? Like the scriptures say. Let me get it, man. I think it's in Jeremiah. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord, would say to the seers, and who, before the prophets was called prophets, right? They was called seers, man. You know? Because the Lord tell us, that he has set watchmen, man. And our job is to watch and inform and warn our people, man. So that way we can get the blood off our hands. But if we're warning you and you're not listening, then the blood is off our hands, because we did our job, which was to warn you. But you were supposed to do your job, which is to take heed to the warning. And it said that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord. They don't want to hear what's right. Jake want to always do what they want to do, man. They want to always buck up and go against the order of Yahweh Shema Shai, his men. You see? What did the scripture say? Indifferent from the Most High. You know, that's what Zephaniah 1:12 in the Living Bible translation said. Indifferent, right? Disobedient to parents is what Timothy says. You see, spiritual and physical parents. Hey, these people, man, y'all are monsters out here, man. You know, they rebellious. That's a perfect name to call out people. They just rebellious, and rebellious is as the sin of witchcraft, man. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, and cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye have despised this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be unto you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant, right? Because when you go up in this chapter, it pretty much goes into those that, you know, take counsel and not of the Lord. You see, they cover with a covering, but it's not of the Lord's spirit. Like the Lord tell you, woe unto them that go down into Egypt for help. Our people, they trust in America, man. You know, they high off life, man. They so high that it's like they not paying attention to the heavy judgment that's coming. The judgment finna come like a bliss. It's finna come like a tackle that you didn't even see coming, man. You thought you was finna go for the touchdown. You thought you was finna reach that goal in life. You thought you was finna get, wait 5 more years till you get your bachelor's degree. You thought you was finna celebrate your birthday. You know, a lot of judgment went out on the 4th of July. A lot of people was killed. They thought they was gonna be popping fireworks, man. Hey, man, these things, the Lord's judgment is intensifying. Sooner or later, man, the Lord's judgment is processing, man. It's warming up. And when he let that, when that judgment get red hot, his hot rebuke, you're not going to be able to calm that down, man. Nothing you're going to do is going to be able to stop the Lord from judging you, man. All right. This is Zephaniah chapter 12, Salakia. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 12, Salakia, in the Living Version. It says, thinking he will leave them alone. They are the very ones whose property will be plundered by the enemy, whose homes will be ransacked. They will never have a chance to live in the new homes they have built. They will never drink wine from the vineyards they have planted. That day is near. That terrible day is near. Swiftly it comes, a day when strong men will weep bitterly. It is a day of the wrath of the Most High poured out, and it is a day of trouble, distress, and anguish, a day of ruin and desolation, a day of darkness and gloom, of clouds, blackness, trumpet calls, battle cries. Down go the walled cities and strong battlements. I will make you as helpless as a blind man searching for a path, because you have sinned against the Lord. Therefore your blood will be poured out into the dust, and your bodies will lie there rotting on the ground. And your silver and gold will be of no use to you in that day of the Lord's wrath. You cannot ransom yourself with it, for the whole land will be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, and he will make a speedy riddance of all the people of Judah. And this man, they talking about you Israelites, man. You right? You Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Indians, man. Judah being their head tribe, right? Because you Northern Kingdoms, y'all getting it as well too, man. With the ICE treatment. But hey, it's going to intensify more and more, because apparently you just feel like the Lord just forgot about you and your disrespectful ways, man. The Lord would not let a man, what did it say? If you sin, the Lord would not let you go. Roughly paraphrasing. This is Sirach 23:19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, knowing not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret part. So here it is, you thinking you putting the Lord off day by day, and the Lord is going to destroy you, man. He's watching you, trying to see if there's anybody that's going to fear him and keep his commandments, man, before he bring that judgment, man. It said, except you repent, ye shall all likewise perish, man. Here we go. I got this precept right here as well too. This is Sirach chapter 15 verse 18. For the wisdom of the Lord is great. He is mighty in power and behold of all things. And his eyes are upon them that fear him. And he knoweth every work of man. He have commanded no man to do wickedly, neither have he given any man license to sin. And that's how people pretty much are portraying like the Lord just gave them license to sin, to go off. You know? What they say, Jesus nailed it to the cross. I'm good. He got me. That's my nigga. You know? Well, the God of the Bible, Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, man, he said, hey, he got on there once, man. He not going on there again, man. So you better make the best of every opportunity if you're a Negro, Latino, Native American, and Indian, man. You better make the best of every opportunity, man, because the Lord is coming to judge this place, man. All right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11 in the Amplified version. I'm going to get this in the AMP. Because the sentence against an evil act is not executed quickly. The hearts of the sons of men are fully set to do evil, right? They eating pork, they committing adultery, you know, they worshiping Jesus instead of worshiping Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, just all types of evil, man. Celebrating these wicked holidays, man, you know, disrespecting the prophets, being a scoffer. You know, Jake just don't stop, man. It just goes on and on. But sooner or later, they're going to have to answer for those acts, man. Verse 12. Though a sinner does evil 100 times and his life seemingly is prolonged in spite of his wickedness, still I know that it will be well with those who reverently fear the Most High. Right? Because we just read in Sirach 15 chapter that the eyes of the Lord are upon them that fear him, man. Just as well as the angels encamping around about them that fear Yahweh Shema Shai. Then you know, man, that those that fear the Lord is going to be well off. Going back in, let's go back in Ecclesiastes 8. We still in verse 12 in the AMP. It says, still I know that it will be well with those who reverently fear the Most High, who fear and worship him openly, realizing his omnipresent in his power. But it will not be well for the evil man, nor will it lengthen his days like a shadow, because he does not fear the Most High. Nor will he lengthen his days like a shadow, because he does not fear the Most High, man. You see? So ultimately, man, hey, the Lord is watching, man. He's gonna stir up that judgment, man. You know? The Lord is not turning a blind eye anymore. What the scriptures tells you, man. Let me get this right quick. The Lord is not here for the exclusive. The Lord is not here for the excuses, man. You know, he's sending his prophets out there to warn you, and you're not taking heed. What you think should happen to you? All right. It's Yahweh Shai speaking right here. This is John 15 and 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sins, man. Simple. They don't need no breakdown, man. You have no cloak for your sins, man. The Lord is coming. You know, when he judge you, it ain't going to be no talking. This is Jeremiah 15, verse 1. Then the Lord said unto me, this is in the God's Words translation. Then the Lord said unto me, I'm going to get in the KJV. Let me get it in the King James Version. This is Jeremiah 15 and 1. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind cannot be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. You see? The Lord said his mind cannot be towards these people. Pay attention to the actions, man. You know what they say, man. As much as these people's do lip service, man, ultimately their actions speak otherwise. Their heart is far from me. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, this is Jeremiah 15:2, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus said the Lord, such as offer death to death, such as offer the sword to the sword, such as offer the famine to the famine, and such as offer the captivity to the captivity, man. So the Lord has appointed judgments upon for our people, man. A lot of our people going in concentration camps. The thing that's going on with the ICE and the immigrants, you know, dealing with the Northern Kingdom, hey, that's judgment from the Lord, man. Hey, you Southern Kingdom gonna get it as well too. When Trump finally cut everybody off from this, which is not Trump, you know, ultimately he just a puppet. But when these elites, them little heads, start actually making devilish moves and diabolical plans and start putting it on the 4th Street, on Front Street, man, you know, hey, man, they start coming down like a madman sparing none because they trying to establish their MOTB, their microchip, which you're going to be able to use and buy and sell. You know, that's the only way how you're going to thrive in this society. Man, all hell going to break loose, man. They going to come hard. And then you people are going to notice that, man, it was never a joke to begin with, because we've been prophesying about these things. And now, since you don't want to listen, that's why the Lord is sending the famine, which is the famine of the word, and also the famine of bread, man. And it tell you better to die by the sword than die by famine, because your body's going to be eating itself away, man. Read up on the side effects of not eating, man. You start hallucinating, man. Hey, you watch Tom and Jerry, man. You know, you watch Looney Tunes, man. You know, when they look at each other, sometimes, man, they'll look at them as a piece of steak or something. You know, man, it's gonna be a famine, man. You know, cannibalism, and then it say captivity, concentration camps, military checkpoints. All these things is coming. Death to death, man. It's gonna. The Lord got, man. I'm talking about infinity ways for you to die, man. Let's keep reading. Jeremiah 15:3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, said the Lord: the sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. You know? So pretty much, hey, the Lord is going to send those beastful animals, man. You know? Even animals you thought that was extinct. You know, hey, man, the Lord is, hey, he not nothing to play with, man. You know, his judgment is very intense. It's nothing to be taken lightly. This is Luke chapter 6, verse 24 in the MSG, which is the Message version. But it's trouble ahead if you think you made it. Right? Let's go back into it. Make sure I read that right. This is Luke 6:24 in the MSG. But it's trouble ahead if you think you have it made. What you have is all you will ever get, man. So pretty much use that to deliver you, man. You put your trust in your Trackhawk, use that to deliver you in a day of evil. You put your trust in Eve, your kids, anything that's hey, you put anything over the Lord, man. Hey, use it, man. You know, don't call on your how about Shema. Don't cry out to the Lord, man. Because when it was time to cry unto him now, while you yet have liberty, right? When he had those doors of mercy open, man, you should have, hey, what it say? For it was your mind to go straight, now seek the Lord 10 times harder, man. Go hard. What's your excuse, right? Luke 6:25 in the Message version. And it's trouble ahead if you're satisfied with yourself. You shouldn't be satisfied with yourself, man. We all need work, man. So our righteousness as filthy rags. And ultimately, man, the whole head is sick. You see, we need work every day, whether you know the names of the Lord or not, man. We need work every day, man. You know? Because when you come into this truth, you start to understand too, hey, man, our righteousness as filthy rags, we need work. But then you look at people in the world that don't know the names of Yahweh Shema Shai, and they think that they're perfect. They think that, hey, they're perfect. Man, they feel angelic right now. Meanwhile, man, they're filthy. We say let the filthy be filthy. Still they're filthy because of what they love to involve themselves. They love wallowing in the mud, man, with Esau. They love dealing in filth. You know? Homosexuality, abominations. You know, they just love just dealing in filth, man. And it tells you, it says, and it's trouble ahead if you're satisfied with yourself. Yourself will not satisfy you for long. And there's trouble ahead if you think life is all fun and games. There's suffering to be met, and you're going to meet it, man. You know? So, hey, suffering is coming, whether you know it or not, or whether you like it or not, man. You're going to taste that suffering, man. You feel like you got it all made here. You feel like the Lord ain't nothing gonna happen to me. What it say? All the sinners of my people should die by the sword. This is 2 Esdras 8 and 50. Then I'm gonna jump down. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. What it say? Pride is when one departed from the Most High, man. Pride is an ugly character trait to have, because it blocks you from having that harmonious connection with Yahweh Shema Shai. It blocks you from the Lord for dealing with you. Lord can't even deal with you because you're prideful. You feel like you got it made. You like, I'm straight. I don't need no correction. I got this. I can save myself. Right? That's the mindset of these 2/3, man. These 2/3. It say 2 Esdras 8 and 55. 2 Esdras 8 and 55. We're going to close it out with this. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. Right, man, because they're going to perish, man. That's going to be their end result. For when they have taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteousness, and said in their heart that there is no God. Yea, and that knowing they must die. You see, knowing they must die, man. Let's say they should know it after death by pain. A lot of these people, they know these things, but yet they just so hard-headed. They just gonna ignore the Lord, right? But like the lesson is, man, you can ignore the Lord all you want, but he ain't gonna ignore you. He watching. Right? 2 Esdras 8 and 59. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them, because they killed the Prince of Life, which is Yahweh Shai said, let the blood be upon us and our children. And yes, it's going to be upon y'all. They don't even know what they said, man. You know? They don't know what they was asking for. You asked for this judgment that's coming. You know? Let's say every idle word that thou shalt use, thou shalt give the account of in the day of judgment. Therefore, that's why the Lord said, that's why his judgment is at hand. Right? 2 Esdras 8 and 60. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were thankful unto him which prepared life for them. What it say? This is the book of the commandments and the law that endure forever. All they that shall keep it, fear the Lord, and keep it, and walk in it, shall come to life. But such as leave it, forsake it, despise it, hate it, embarrassed by it, shall die. Right? Unto him which prepared life for them. 2 Esdras 8 and 61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand, man. All right? So you can ignore the Lord all you want, but guess what? He's not going to ignore you. The judgment is still set, man. It's coming. Shalom.